Doctor Strange is one of the best sorcerers in the Marvel Universe, but let's talk about his magic. You see, a lot of the times when Doctor Strange uses magic, he's actually borrowing power from another being. For example, when Doctor Strange casts the Flames of the Faltine, he's literally borrowing power from the Faltine. And the same would be said for stuff like the Winds of Watum and the Bolts of Balthok, where he's actually borrowing power from Watum and Balthok. However, this type of magic does come with a catch. You see, borrowing this power isn't free, and you eventually have to pay back the being who you're borrowing the power from, or else you rack up debt. And Doctor Strange is notorious for not paying off his debt. In fact, there was a time when Doctor Strange's debt got so big at one point that a magic accountant named Hawthorne took away his magic altogether. Silver Surfer is one of the most powerful superheroes in the Marvel Universe, but what's his origin story? Well, Norrin Radd was an alien from the planet Zenn-La, and Zenn-La was pretty much a utopia that was devoid of crime. Now, Norrin is extremely smart and continuously pursued his quest for knowledge. However, when he was young, his mother killed herself, and later on when he got older, his father killed himself. One day, Galactus came to Zenn-La in hopes of devouring the planet. Norrin went up and talked to Galactus before he could do so and offered himself up as his servant, but in exchange he had to spare Zenn-La. Galactus accepted and turned Norrin into his new herald known as the Silver Surfer. Rune King Thor is one of the most powerful versions of Thor, but just how powerful is he? Well, for starters, Rune King Thor has the Odin Force and the Norse runes. And just for reference, the Odin Force is powerful enough to have allowed Odin to fight infinity where galaxies were destroyed in the process. Now on top of this, Rune King Thor has evolved past death, obtained ultimate wisdom, and he more or less became omniscient. Plus, Rune King Thor's power output is insane. I mean, not only was he able to destroy Mangog, but he also destroyed the Loom of Fates, which in turn destroyed Yggdrasil. And Yggdrasil contains the 10 realms. Also, when Thor destroyed Yggdrasil, he also destroyed those who sit above in shadows, who were celestial beings. So with all this said and more, Rune King Thor would be a power level 9. Later on in his life, Wolverine would come to meet a woman called Itsu, where they would fall in love, and Itsu would actually become pregnant with his son. And this son would come to be the mutant known as Daken. However, Daken's birth was far from ordinary. You see, while Itsu was pregnant with Daken, she would be killed by the Winter Soldier. A man named Romulus would then find Itsu and cut Daken out of her womb, which Daken surprisingly survived. After that moment, Romulus would leave Daken, but later on in his life would return and not only have him be trained by Cyber, but he would also lie to him and say that Wolverine was the one who killed his mother. This lie would fuel Daken to get revenge on Wolverine for a very long period of time. However, Daken would eventually learn the truth about his mother and Wolverine. Now currently, not only do Wolverine and Daken seem to be on some pretty good terms, but Daken has also joined the new X-Factor team and has developed feelings for Aurora. Wolverine has suffered a lot in life, but let's talk about one of the saddest things to have ever happened to him. Well, for starters, there used to be an organization called the Red Right Hand, which consisted of people who wanted revenge on Wolverine. Wolverine's son Daken would eventually find this organization and would help them with their master plan. And this plan required Daken to go out and find specific individuals where he would then turn them over to the Red Right Hand. The Red Right Hand trained these individuals to where they would become the organization's warriors known as the Mongrels. Eventually, the organization made the Mongrels fight Wolverine, where Wolverine would end up killing them or they would end up killing themselves. After all the Mongrels were dead, Wolverine would make his way to the Red Right Hand but would find that they all committed suicide. However, the organization did leave a videotape for Wolverine, and on that videotape they revealed that the Mongrels were actually Wolverine's children that he never knew about. Wolverine would feel incredibly guilty about this, which would solidify this as one of his saddest moments.